So, Vox Machina Season 2 came out, and I really want to talk about it. The first 3 episodes are currently out on Amazon Prime. I'm going to go into some detail about each individual episode in this video. If you want me to go into more detail on each individual episode, let me know by hitting the like button. Let's see if we can get this video up to like 100 likes, and let me know in the comments specifically, because if I go into a lot of detail about all 3 episodes, I'm going to be here for like an hour talking about the episodes. So, I'm going to just give brief stuff talking about the first 3 episodes for now. Obviously, spoiler warning, I'm going to go into spoilers for some of the stuff, and there's going to be a very big spoiler at the end of episode 3 that I'm going to talk about too. But it's out, go watch it. It's good. Come back and tell me what you thought about it in the comments. Anyway, let's begin. Season 2, episode 1 starts out where season 1 actually left off, and dragons are essentially attacking Taldora. Honestly, 90% of this episode is the team and some civilians, because most of them die, just trying to get away from all the dragons, and it's pretty fucked up. People get melted. And yes, this also includes the king from season 1, who I actually liked. He was pretty chill. The CGI on the dragons is actually not that bad. I think it's because the CGI is mostly unlit and it's kind of in darkness, and it kind of works pretty well with the look of the dragons. I'm surprised I don't dislike it, honestly. Which, there's another monster that's gonna come up later on that looks like utter piss.
This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
But we'll talk about that in episode 2 section. I want to point out that the moment where the team found Gilmore's shop burnt down and Gilmore might have been dead put the fear of God into me, because I like Gilmore. He's a good guy. I like him. He's funny. He's charming. I didn't want him to die, but I'm happy he didn't die, because this episode, people died a lot. Eventually, the team does get away by using one of Killif's teleportation spell thing, where she turns trees into portals, and they end up heading back to Whitestone, in which we get the team talking about what they should do next, which they start setting up, at least I think they're setting up something to do with Scatland not really wanting to continue being an adventurer, I think. Because he's the only one who does not want to continue doing this, because he sees them as not capable of doing so. I think he's projecting his own insecurities onto the rest of the team, possibly. Maybe this is something that's continued through the season, but we'll see how it goes. Because I know they've been kind of doing some stuff with Scatland from season 1, where he was kind of insecure about his place in the team, and they might be still going on with this in season 2. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see. In episode 2, we actually get to see where they're going next. Apparently, it's the most powerful city in the world, in which they continuously refuse to help the other parts of the world. I'm gonna be honest. This trope is actually happening quite a lot in fantasy stories, where the most powerful city in the world is also the one that doesn't interact with the rest of the world. It's something that I see a lot, and it's a silly one, because they're essentially going to be hit at some point. I almost guarantee at some point this season, the dragons are going to go towards the city and fuck it up. Apparently, they have really powerful defenses, and they could be going out to collect and help people, but no, they're just gonna wait. It's fine. Very stupid, I think. Also, I love how Percy tries to convince the guard to let them in because he is a noble, and the guard doesn't give a fuck. I thought that was really funny, and it kind of reminded me of a, like, charisma check from, like, a D&D campaign. So that was great. Like, he failed it, but the DM had to find a way to get them to go to check with the, like, people in charge. So he let them kind of pass by still failing. That was great. But this episode is actually here to also set up a couple different things, too. Grog's apparently arc through this season is going to be him finding out what exactly gives him actual strength, I guess. And the twins, especially Vax, having to come to terms with him essentially being too dependent on his sister. And we also get to see at the end of the episode, Percy realizing that Ripley's around and gathering black powder, which probably means she has guns, honestly, or explosives, who knows. There's also another subplot with the demon vampire sword that Grog has. Whenever he cuts something, it absorbs its blood and makes Grog go even more into a berserker state, and this could be setting up some stuff with that sword. Well, it definitely is setting up some stuff with that sword through the rest of the season, which it's essentially a Chekhov's gun. We know something bad's gonna happen with that sword and Grog, and it's probably gonna tie in with his understanding of what makes him strong at the same time. So this season is juggling a lot of subplots at the same time. And I'm gonna be honest, I am a little worried about the season having too many subplots going on at once. We'll see how they handle it, but I do usually get annoyed when shows have too many things going on at once for the show to properly, keep track of. We'll see how it goes. But there's a lot on this season's plate that they're dealing with. Also, holy fuck, is the Sphinx in this episode ugly as sin? It is just mostly shrouded in shadows, so it's harder to see what it looks like. But it still looks like shit. This is probably one of the only CGI things in the show that I genuinely disliked a lot. Like, I could deal with the dragon CGI, I thought was fine. But this thing looked terrible. This thing also tells everyone about their own individual problems. And I find the one that this thing tells to Scotland specifically the most interesting, ironically, is that nobody cares enough about him for her to even talk about him. Which... it's fucked up, dude. And then the CGI Sphinx monster thing gives them directions to find the plot device of the season, which is essentially these weapons and items that can kill dragons. Also, Kirillov has like a crush, I think, on this random mercenary guy who they just kind of met. Honestly, I can't tell if it's her actually having a crush or if it's her not being able to talk to people properly, which, knowing Kirillov, it might be that not being able to talk to people properly because she's so damn awkward. So it might look like she has a crush, but it might just be her not being able to fucking properly socialize. Episode 3 has the 2 mercenaries come after the team and has them helping them essentially along. We're all eventually waiting for them to get betrayed. We know where it's coming. We know where it's going. And it's also kind of implied that the guy mercenary is a little less of an asshole than the lady mercenary, because he even like calls her like we didn't need to do certain things later on the episode to the team. But I have no idea. He's probably gonna be like a more nicer guy, and he's $10 as he dies. $10 as he dies. I'm calling it now. We also get a bunch of flashbacks for the twins, Vex and Vax. God, I hate saying both their names next to each other. But we get flashbacks to their childhoods, dealing with their father, who is a absolute right. But I like these flashbacks a lot through episode 3 because they're woven very well through the narrative. They have a really good execution at the end of the episode when, well, Vax has to deal with his sister not being around anymore. Which I guess is a good time to mention that Vex does die by the end of the episode. I was kind of surprised this did happen because I didn't actually watch the original campaign myself. But when this happened, I was like, oh shit, she died. All right, when's she gonna come back? Because we know she's gonna get revived some way or another. Like, I don't think any of us are actually believing that she's dead forever. Especially since she's on so much of the promotional stuff. And she's in a lot of the trailers. In later parts of the story when they have their, you know, like the new equipment and their new armors that they wear later, Vex is still with them as well. So it we know she's coming back. So I'm not really all that surprised. I will say the scene when she did die was executed pretty fucking well, honestly. The animation on Vex's face when he was panicking and thinking of his sister being dead, I thought hit really, really well. Actually gave me some sad feelings. I'm happy that in this episode they finally give the bear more to do because the bear and Pike are fighting against monsters, and it's really cool watching Trinket actually do things. Oh, I love Trinket. Trinket is best boy, and the fact that Pike and him like fight monsters together is fucking awesome. Fucking love that bear. I'm very curious to see where the story goes. I'm pretty sure Vax is gonna go batshit crazy on Percy because Percy's the one who triggered the trap. I think Percy's gonna feel some kind of very sad guilt because he touched the damn thing. But I am excited to see episode 4. I need that shit now. But please let me know what you guys think of these 3 episodes in the comments down below. And if you guys want me to go into more detail about each individual episode, please also let me know. Please do not forget that over on my Twitch and gaming page here on YouTube, we are currently doing a bit of a push to get me to 500 followers on Twitch. If we get to 500 followers, me and my friends will do a drinking game. If you guys want to know more about that drinking game, click the card in the upper right corner of the screen to know more about that. And thank you for making it this far in the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.